Well, that didn't go to plan, did it? Welcome back. I'm Richard the painter. So I did try and show you a bit of booth maintenance. I've changed the intake filter and I've changed the outtake filter. It was due. We change the intake every 6 months for those that are interested, and we change the rear one what seems like every 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, rudely interrupted quite a few times, so I just did it in the end. Right, so anyway, waffling. We got the MGB blue one this time. We finally got the shell ready for paint. So with you should have seen already. The engine bay is already painted. The I'll get there in a minute. Yeah, engine bay's painted. You'd have seen it in primer. We've blocked that. We've re-primed a couple of areas, blocked them. Now we're basically masked back up in the booth. So you can see now what I'm doing. I'll just explain. I don't know if you can hear me or not with this microphone, but I'm just walking around now, just double checking my masking, make sure there's no holes or anything like that. Make sure all the tape's stuck down, that type of thing, and then we'll see what we can find. Move my hose pipe out of the way. Not too bad actually there you go, look, that's what I'm talking about. Stick that down. Just make sure, especially up here, just make sure these are stuck down properly. I might just put a bit more tape on that just to tighten that up a little bit actually. I can't even put it on there I don't think. Let's see if we can. Oh, I can. Yeah, so basically sorting this out, make sure that's nice and tight. We'll put another one on there. I don't like it flapping around too much. Right, yeah, I'll show you the back actually as well, yeah. Right, so you'll see it's all masked. You'll see we've masked to the floor as well, all the way around the bottom. So, reason being, for the people that are actually interested, this boot's rear extracted. So when I'm painting the back of the car, especially low down, it's going to want to draw underneath the car. And the customer's already painted some parts. And yeah, there's some fresh bits underneath. Engine bay is painted. So what we don't want is the paint coming through from underneath, flowing back into the engine bay, which would then give us all overspray all over that as well as the customer's parts. That is done. We need to keep them clean and tidy. And if you've watched the previous videos, you'd have seen everything that's inside is already painted. So the A-pillars are painted, the inside of the wings are painted, and what we don't want is all the overspray stuck over them. Not that anybody's going to see it, I just don't like it. On full paints, I think it's a good idea anyway. If you're lucky enough to have a full downdraft booth, it's not as bad. It will just shoot straight down. But if you're painting the bottom of a sill, there's a good chance you might get some creeping over the other side, or it shouldn't, but sometimes you get a bit of a vortex underneath the car where you blowing and the air coming down. You don't want it sticking to the back of people's wheels or anything like that. So when you're doing out big like this, it's good just to tape to the floor. In theory, you should have a cleaner job, less cleaning up afterwards, less flattening and polishing. My arm's gone dead now holding it with that on. So that's why we do that. For those that are interested in the boring stuff. So paint wise, we're using a 2K paint. I'll show you that in a moment. I believe I've shown you already in the other videos anyway. That's what the customers opted for. That's basically what we're doing. Some people would do it base and clear, depending on the budget and what we have to do and not have to do. The 2K version will give more of a traditional look, if you like, which is what a lot of people want, so that's why we tend to do it. Some people will clear coat over the direct gloss. We're not doing that on this occasion. Don't really like to do it, because I think if you're going to clear it, you may as well use base coat and then clear it. But I think it saves a lot of prep time and stuff like that as well, and it's a lot cleaner. You just have to make sure that your hardeners match, and you're basically using everything that's the same, so you don't introduce an issue down the road. And everything with paintwork is either making sure it's absolutely clean or trying to eliminate any potential issues. So that's me waffling anyway. So what I'll do is we'll go in the paint mixing room and we'll get some paint mixed up. I'll show you what we're doing. Right, we're back in a moment. Right, there we are. Yep, there we go. Back on. Right, so in the paint room. So I'm going to use some bigger cups this time because we're going to need quite a bit. I'm going to mix 2 cups, which will be 1.6 litres. Now that's 1.6 litres mixed. We'll see how far that gets round. It's a dark colour going over a dark substrate, so it should be alright. Normally when we've done these in the past, we would be wanting sort of 3 layers. First one we're trying, or I'd trying anyway, everybody's different, and please check your technical data sheets with whatever paint that you're using, whatever manufacturer you're using. So I try and put a thin closed coat on first, and what I mean, I'm not going for a finish, I just want a closed semi-wet-ish coat, if that makes any sense at all. The second layer will be wet layer, and the third layer again. Now hardener wise, I'm going to use a slower hardener, and I'm going to use a slower thinners, purely because we don't want it to dry too fast, is what I'm getting at. Basically, the more, depending on the product anyway, the more you force paint to dry, i.e. faster hardeners, faster thinners, using stuff like Rocket and stuff like that, although it does dry it a lot faster, it also tends to sup up and end up looking like an orange, and it's not how you left it the night before or the day before, and it's not how you want it. So then there's an awful lot of flat and polishing to deal with that, to get it to nice again. So if we use slower hardeners, slower thinners, it will flow out more. It will take a bit longer to flash off, but we're in a booth, so it's fine. If you were painting at home, you still may want to go a bit faster anyway, because you don't want it staying open as long, purely because you might end up introducing dust and stuff like that. So somebody set the dog off, so I'll be back. I think he was looking at himself. There's nobody there. So. Right, I'm throwing that all over myself now. It's not good, is it? Right, so we'll get this mixed up. I'll just show you very quickly, because I'll not bore you to death, hopefully. I may have already shown you already. So that's the blue paint. Thinners. That type of thing. Right, there we go. Can't you tell I'm good with the camera? We've got no liners either, so we'll have to get another box out. There's loads of different types of these. So I've been using these Merkur cups. I might have already shown you these actually. You get a hard cup, lid, and they all use the same. That has a built-in mesh filter in there down to 20, which is cool. So I'll open this up, get another sleeve of them out. Shut that back in there. Right, yeah, so I'll open these up, so show you these quick. So these are just liners up. That's it. Put them in each cup. Now some people would mix, again everybody's different, some people would mix this in one great big pot and then put equal, is that still on? There we go. Put equal amounts in each pot. I'd just mix it by volume if you like, so it's 2 to 1, 10-20%, whatever I need at the time, and then we go from there. So right, I'll get these mixed up and I'll be back. Right, back in the booth now, paint's mixed, it's all ready, so just going to go around now with a tack cloth, make sure we go around and dust off. We use tack gloves. So get this up. while we do that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on the tripod. Put some gloves on. Stay on the tripod. I'll try and show at least the first layer, and then we'll come back at the end and show you when it's finished. Right. all painted. It's cooking now. Boot's off. And let's have a look around it. Trying to think then what we're doing. As you can see, it's all painted. Very clean, which is what we wanted. Hopefully that comes across well in the camera. You see all that blue on the paper? That's kind of what I was on about earlier in the video. There, basically what happens is, I've already said in the video, for you it's a couple of minutes ago, for me it's like an hour or so. All that ordinarily would have been underneath the car, flowing around everywhere and ruining everything. So now you can see, if I just pull away this bit of masking here, you can see it's all painted. I'm not going to pull any more away because it's still a bit wet, so we'll just leave it at that. I'm just showing you. So yeah, so that's basically the MG. So after this now, I'm all over the place for this thing. After this now, we've got to get the bonnet, boot lid and doors painted. That'll be in a separate video, but for now this is painted, so we can start the flat and polishing process on this. Basically going to leave that for a few days before we do that, just to make sure it's nice and hard. I can bake it, but like I said, I don't want to rush it drying. There's no reason for me to bake it. It's a nice temperature. It's not going out in half an hour's time, so there's no need for me to do that, so I'm just going to let that sit. For me it's a Saturday, so this will sit over a weekend, so it might have a day or two or whatever, and then we'll take it around the other side of the workshop and pop it in my back room. It's not going to bother anybody in there for a few days. And in the meantime, we've got a million other things to be getting on with, so we'll be feeding the MG stuff through. As soon as the booth's empty again, we'll get that through. That's one car out of the way then. And then we've got loads of other stuff as well that I keep waffling on about, which we're going to try and show a bit more of that. We've been doing stuff in between everything, so by the time we get videos organised, there's going to be like big jumps and stuff at the moment anyway. And so we get a bit more organised again. We're working on it, so we're nearly there now, so should be a bit better soon. Yeah, if you need to know anything, want anything, just let me know. Let me know what you think of the colour. This is teal blue. I'll walk you around again. If you like the video and everything, if you can give us a like, that'd be nice. Thumbs up, you can see the colour. Again, these cameras don't show it the proper colour. We had this with the VW that we've just done. The colour looks different. So this is actually teal blue, so it looks a bit like what's the best word for it? I'm going to call it a dirtier blue. It's a very nice colour. It's just more of a dirty, rather than a bright, vibrant blue. It's a bit more of a dirtier blue. But we'll walk you back round so you can see what we're doing. Yeah, so if you If you can like, share and subscribe, that would be appreciated. I don't know if you can see the back, it's a bit dark back here. Yeah, if you can like, share and subscribe, it'd be appreciated. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.